Hello, friends.
Welcome to Wednesday Night Yarn Adventures.
We're here. Where is here, Dean?
We are in Badlands National Park. A little bit of a
Deviation.
shift in gears from where we were headed last week at the time. We were supposed to be in Sergeant Bluff, Iowa, growing up with
Hi, Alice.
but that did not work because there was not a great way to get from southern Minnesota to northwest Iowa
without running into a whole lot of water. Yeah. So there's some. So apparently I-29 did open yesterday. I heard somebody talking about it today, but then it closed again after the storms last night.
Yes.
So that's fun. So anyway, we are going to reschedule that for July 31st. We will be at Growing Up with Lou Fiber Arts, July 31st. Okay, from 10 to 8.
But so instead, our next stop is Gillette, Wyoming.
It is.
Out. And so we took off across South Dakota and decided to use the extra time to go to Badlands.
We did. It's super exciting. We got to go hiking today. The weather was absolutely gorgeous. They said yesterday it was crazy hot. All week it's been crazy hot, and today was just perfect. It is supposed to storm a little later. Yay! Hi. It's supposed to storm a little later, so Dean was a little sad because Badlands is one of the dark sky parks, and it is some of the pictures they're producing is just absolutely stunning.
A little bit sad it's supposed to be super cloudy tonight, but that's okay.
And we have a lot of camping in our very near future.
A lot of good telescoping
in some very awesome places. So, speaking of awesome places, we have been some awesome places in the last week. Hi, Anita. Good to see you. Oh, muffled? Are you because your things upside down?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Everybody should be clear. Is this coming through? Okay, we'll see if that's better. Yeah.
So let's see. Rolling back to last Wednesday.
Yeah. So last Wednesday we were at dinner with our friends for a zombie knit apocalypse, hanging out with our friends from my knitting table. Hey Jazz. And I'm so glad everyone's found us this week.
I will share a picture of you and your friends.
Yes. So Dean is yeah, I think they're okay with that.
Sure.
There they are.
There's friends, Eric and Billy Joe.
Yep. And also at the table is Gretchen, who just came back to Louisiana. Christine from Treasure Goddess Yarns, Dana from Imbecito Fibers, and then several other people who came in and out all weekend. So Jenna from 716 Knit Buffalo Knits, and her partner Jerry, and then I remember. Oh, I can't forget Erin. Erin was also at the table. She had already gone to bed, I think. Maybe sounded better than Dean's.
We'll try that.
Okay, we'll try that better.
Or I'll just let Katy talk about it.
Okay, that works too. So we had a really nice time hanging out with our friends. Thursday, I spent all day knitting and doing all kinds of fun stuff. Our other friends came in on Thursday. We got to our Airbnb. We were staying with Cesium Yarn and Oink Pigments, so we got to hang out with Kat and Penny and our lovely former yarn truck Ellie. And then we also got to hang out with Helena from Oink Pigments, and so we had just a fabulous time. And then on Friday we had our yarn truck rodeo. We had 4 trucks. So we had Knit Buffalo. That's Jenna, and she dyes a lot of her own yarn, and she's absolutely amazing. And then we were there with Yarn Adventure, and then Cesium Yarn was there with Ellie. They dye all of their yarn. And then in the very back, there's this little bitty fiber MacGyver. That's Madge. I don't know if Jenna has a name for her. Anyway, Madge the camper is fiber MacGyver, and they had a lovely tent set up, and it was all fabulous until about 1:45. And then it rained.
It was incredibly busy. The weather was not like perfect. It was a little bit warm, but it was pretty near perfect.
It was really nice. and then it rained. And I'm not just talking like, oh, a little sprinkle. I'm talking like buckets and buckets and buckets of rain.
In Arkansas, we would call it a gully washer.
It was a gully washer. It rained so hard at one point that there was literally a river going across the floor of our of TV. And we were dry inside. It was just raining so hard that it had blown in underneath part of the slide out and was rivering down the side of the slide and underneath onto the floor. And so it was crazy. So we got that packed away and put up. Hello, Ryan. I see you over there on Instagram. Sorry. Dean is trying to like point out stuff and I can't always see everything. Ryan's here. So excited to see you. So yeah.
Friday.
That was Friday. We had a beautiful time.
But it ended at 3, so we were able to get back to the Airbnb and dry out and go out to dinner with friends.
Yes. We had a lovely dinner.
So yeah, that was fun.
And then I went back to knitting.
Yeah, you went after.
I went back to the retreat, and everybody, you guys stayed in and had Japanese.
We were all introverted and stayed in and had Japanese. And
they got me food, but it was just I didn't get it until like way later.
Katie went out and
I did all kinds of
extroverted.
Speaking of hearing things, check out this mug, guys. Isn't it cute? That's the mug that came this year. Okay, so I got pretty yarn, but I only got one skein of yarn the entire place. I know, right? It's craziness. So this is it. It's from 716. And so this is her sock yarn. It's a merino nylon blend. And this was her 10th anniversary self-striping colorway. This is hardcore fiber fun. 10th anniversary being open as a yarn truck. So it's her self-striping with that colorway and then with black stripes. And so it's really fun. I really, really like it. And thank you, Alice. And I'm very excited about having that in my stash. And when I got to the Airbnb, Cesium had a surprise for me, which I'm so excited about. So,
it was also fun to see Kat and Penny because that's the first time we had seen Ellie since we waved goodbye to her at Eureka.
Yeah, and so it was really neat to see how they were coming along. So Kat brought me the entirety of the sunscreen summer mystery selection.
I'm not sure.
Mystery box. So there's all inspired by sunscreen colors, and they fade into each other. I'm sorry, and they are absolutely gorgeous. And I don't know if I can hold them all up.
Since you're going to be doing your.
Since I'm going to be doing, and so it's Shanico. It's 100% Shanico. It is absolutely lovely. And I'm so excited to start spinning on it. So thank you, Kat. It was a really awesome gift. And I can't wait to get going on it. And so I only bought one skein because I was determined that I was going to only work on what I already had, which was really good.
And you did?
And I did. In fact, on Saturday, I finished it, guys. I finished it. There it is. There's my SAT. It fits fabulously. The colors are gorgeous. The lace is super pretty.
I have to take a picture of it or I would put it up now.
Yes. Well, we can do that later. Anyway, I wove in all the ends on Sunday. Yeah.
So Saturday we went to, speaking of flooding in Northwest Iowa, we went to Des Moines, West Des Moines, for the Judy and Eileen Fiber Retreat. The first one. And I didn't really know that the flooding was that bad until we left for that. And we actually we were on 90, Interstate 90 going west, and it was closed.
At like 6 a.m.
There was like, I don't know, 3-4 feet of wire going over under an overpass.
So we got to take this cool like 45-minute detour, and so we were a little late setting up, but we made it. Everything was good.
We actually thought it was going to rain all day on Saturday, but it didn't. It was extremely humid. And
it was really, really.
It was only like 89 degrees, but it was so humid. But Katie was able to do a lot of knitting, finish her thing.
And in celebration of finishing my top, I bought fiber. So I bought our friend 316 Dye Studio was there, and I was making some of my actual fiber.
I don't know where it is.
Okay.
I don't see it. It's that one.
Yeah, it's way over there. Okay. It's called Himalayan Sea Salt, and it's an alpaca, yak, merino, and camel blend. Yeah, silk, and maybe it's not up. Yeah,
I don't think you said silk before.
I think I can. Anyway, I will post the details below. It is absolutely amazing. This I also put together my wheel. So this is my new 6.1. I love it. It's awesome. Yeah, worth the hype.
Did you get battery?
I haven't got my battery in yet because we sold our last battery. That's okay. We ordered more, so we'll have batteries at convert. Actually, we'll have batteries Saturday.
Yes,
Saturday,
Friday.
not Friday. Friday. Yeah, they'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have batteries when we get to Swanky Mountain on Friday. So if you're looking for a wheel, got you covered. We can make that happen for you. Other things. So Sunday we left our friend. So on Saturday we drove down to Des Moines, and then we drove back to Rochester after the event, and we stayed at our Airbnb with Cesium. We were tired, but it was a good decision.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah, it was a good decision to do that. And we got to give hugs to all of our friends and everything before everyone left, and that was really nice.
It was I'm glad we drove back up there.
Yeah.
Stayed up there.
We've only been talking for 12
Yep.
minutes. Okay. Anyway, let's jam a lot in here. So on Sunday we got up and we chilled a whole bunch in the Airbnb, and then we packed it in, and Cesium headed toward Illinois to hang out with an aunt, and then we headed toward Minneapolis area, and we went and hung out with our friend Natalie and the Twisted Stitchers at Prior Lake Library. We hung out at Natalie's house this time, though. So Shakopee.
Not Shakopee.
No, I said it wrong last time.
I said it wrong a lot.
I have to. So Shakopee. And we hung out with our friend Natalie, and we had a fantastic little group on Sunday. We sat outside. The weather was stunningly gorgeous.
I have a really nice picture of this Indian that we had.
Oh yeah, that was on Monday. Yeah,
this was later
Tuesday. That was when we were meeting.
I guess it was, but anyway, I'm sharing it because it was delicious. They had like a lunch thing where you could pick like a list. They had a list of like 6 entrees. You could pick 3 of them. You got naan, you got a dessert, you got rice, and yeah, it was
real good.
Real good.
So, Anita, add that to your list of places that Dean recommends to eat. It's called India Cafe.
India Palace.
India Palace?
I think so. I'm pretty sure it's India Palace.
We'll double check on that. But it's in it's in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Okay. It's right next to the Starbucks.
Super good. Sorry, I had to work that in there.
So on Monday and Tuesday, we basically like did absolutely nothing. Like we sat on the couch and yeah, it was a whole lot of nothing.
I got to Natalie has a dog and a cat.
Yeah.
And the dog's name is Brady, and the cat's name is Basil, but his real name is Captain Murder Mittens. And
yeah, we're gonna need a picture of that one.
So we're gonna have to now. Don't forget that this is a ferocious beast, Captain Murder Mitts. So he's very very ferocious, but also likes to cuddle. So.
Yes, he does.
Cat's just into like me in general, but he was.
He cuddled me too.
He did. He was
only when no one else was there.
I didn't expect that he would do that, but he did like that. He's Captain Murder Mitts because he goes outside and kills birds and rabbits.
Also, he
has mitts on.
He likes to unalive things. So it happens. He is a murder cat, and we'll forgive him.
And we did open up the truck on Sunday. It was pretty chill. We just had the truck open for the Twisted Stitcher group. folks. There was maybe 15, 12 or
Maybe
15
like 10 or
people
15 of us out, and
that came at one
they
time or
brought
other.
food, and we had this big potluck, like gathering on the front lawn, and it was just really fun. We had a great time.
The weather was like spectacular.
It really, really was.
It was a smidge warm, but man, it was really.
Overall.
I mean, for June the 23rd or whatever it was, like really nice.
So today is June 26th, and today, 1 year ago today, our Jack went across the Rainbow Bridge. So
yeah,
he was a good boy.
He was a good boy. Natalie's dog Brady was a lot like him.
Yes, and it made me really happy to see.
Nervous about things and just like awkwardly weird when you're like, like I'm just gonna stand here because I don't know what to do because I'm weird and awkward, but I really want you to step me.
So ZK is like Zombie Apocalypse is like a real like big turning point for like yarn adventure business in general because we last year literally on the drive up was when we decided that we were going to take this full time and make this a possibility. Like we were looking at RVs like while I was sitting at the knitting table and we were figuring out all the finances and figuring out how to make it work and so this is
chose our RV this week last year.
We did.
And
we chose EV right here.
Scheduled the time to get it.
Yeah. So this is we've been doing this now. We made this decision and we've been living with this decision for a whole year now. And so this is just it's kind of crazy to think about and how it's all coming together. But
a lot in the last year.
Yeah. So let's see. One more thing I wanted to say. Let's see. We did. Okay. So this morning we went to Watertown after we left Shakopee. Sorry, Natalie. After we left Shakopee, we went to Watertown, South Dakota yesterday. It was lovely, a lovely drive. Rained on us just a touch. And then today, we got up and we drove across South Dakota and we ate at this place called Hutch's Cafe and Lounge in the middle of nowhere, South Dakota. And it was the most South Dakota experience I think I've ever had or could ever have. Also, it's starting to rain out there and it smells so good. That ozone, man. So what was I saying? Oh, so we ate there today, and while the food was like it's pretty good, but it wasn't like spectacular.
It was.
The atmosphere was epic.
It was like everybody knew everybody.
Yes.
This was the local. I'm gonna see if I can find it on the map.
It was like the local cafe. Presto.
Presto.
It's on I-90. Like right on 90.
I'll find it. Sure.
Anyway. So yeah.
Yeah. Presto. It's like a tiny, tiny town, but literally everybody in this cafe knew everybody, and they all were just chatting about all the local everything. There was this one guy who was clearly, whenever he was in high school, there was like a star, either lacrosse or field hockey and high jumper. And now his child had gone to the big school of South Dakota State University to do either field hockey or lacrosse or I don't know what sport she was doing, but
I think they were doing a high jump
like
too.
multiple sports. And so she was off to the big city.
And it sounded super cool though. It sounded really awesome.
And
we were really excited.
And they were talking about all this because they had the Olympic trials on in the background, the diving Olympic trials. So
we'll probably watch some of that tonight because we have decent Wi-Fi.
I heard about that. Yeah.
What else are we doing tonight? So then we came and we went to the Badlands.
Like we did some hiking. We did some
Badlands National Park. We haven't been here before. This is our first visit. The last time we drove this particular stretch of highway was in 2010 on our honeymoon. And by the time we got to this point, we were so ready to go home that it wasn't even funny.
There's TV with some
really
glimmer shot over the edge of the. There was like a spot where there was nobody, and so we got to take a picture of her there. Let's see what else we got here. We did a little hike out to the door. I think is what it was called.
The door hike. It was interesting because it's an open hiking park, which means you basically don't have to sit on the trails at all. Like, trails are a suggestion, and
it's strange.
It's kind of weird.
Most national parks are like, yeah, don't leave the trail.
Please don't leave the trail. Don't damage the ecosystem. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting, but basically they have like metal like fence posts like just stuck at different points, and you just went from fence post to fence post. So
they're scary. It's fun. There's a lot of buttes and like exposed rock that has not, all the rock and dirt around it weathered away, and it's left all these kind of sharp points. And
yes.
Let's see.
So
this is the end of the trail for the door.
Yes.
And so this was the very end. And it was a good little half-mile hike.
End of trail. That's what you get, and you turn around and go back. So it was fun though. I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. Yeah. I liked the hike. And then we went to the visitor center. They did a really nice job on it.
Yeah.
And our campsite is just probably a quarter of a mile from the visitor center.
Yeah.
I've never been in a campsite like this, like when you like pull, like it's like the road, and then you have like pull outs. Yeah. So it's like a pull out, and that's where you park your RV.
It's not like you don't actually pull off the stick. You're still like in a turnout on the road.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. I haven't never seen that before. But it makes sense, and it works pretty well. So we have water, and we got to fill up with water, and we have dump site, and we have electrics, the AC's going, it's really pleasant in here.
Yeah, the temperature's much better now than rain.
Yeah, and now it's much cooler outside. Okay, so we're going to spend the last 8 minutes
talking about what's coming up.
Well, actually, I'm going to talk about this one fast because I almost forgot. Last week at Rick's Bakery, because that was like a week ago. Yeah, right, I know. Deborah Lee from she's the lead. Anyway, Eagle Rock. I don't know.
I don't know what you're going for.
She doesn't have a title, I guess. I guess she doesn't really have a do thing. Anyway, she teaches crochet and knitting classes a lot of times for us, especially at Eureka Fiber in the Ozarks. And she made me an adorable sample. Look at this little kerchief. And it's got dragon scales and beads. And it's so pretty. Anyway, and this lovely tassel, and it has a magnetic clasp. And the yarn is Brenda and Heather. And it's one of their rainbow gradient skeins, one of their shawl balls. And look at that. Cute, isn't it? So yeah, I'm really liking it. Anyway, she only used like half the skein. So the pattern is called I Am Dragon by Alexandra Davidoff, and she apparently has different sizes that she released in this pattern. Excuse me. So this is the small, and then there's like an extra small that's like smaller than this. So like Deb at this point non-existent. and then there's also a medium and a large. They're more shawl-esque. So but super cool dragon scales, and I really like them. But any one of the you can get like the medium size out of one of the shawl balls. She just hadn't released that sizing yet, so Deb did this size. And she really, really liked it. She also used the check glass beads in size 6O. They're the clear with silver lining in them, and the sewn on magnetic snap. So definitely something that you can do. I know, it's a fun one, isn't it? Anita says she's been at this one. Anita Baker. Yeah. Anita Sherman, sorry. And then we have okay. So that is yes. Okay, so that's all I want to talk about there. Other things we need to talk about.
Today's the 26th. Yes. And in 3 days, on the 29th, is when the Tour de France starts, which is less exciting than what Katy's going to be doing.
So the Tour de France, if you do not know, Tour de France is a cycling competition where people like up and down the French Alps. Woo. Anyway, so once upon a time, a few years ago, the spinners of the world, like yarn spinners of the world, decided that they needed to pedal in solidarity with the cyclists. And by pedal, I mean treadle. So they pulled out their spinning wheels, and every day that the bikers, the cyclists cycled, they spun. So that is what we were going to do. Except of course, we're going to put a little yarn adventure twist on it because that is what we do. So Tour de Fleece is basically it's a non-sponsored competition, not really competition. It's a gathering. Get together.
Some people get together like.
Yeah, there's teams. A lot of like yarn shops have teams. A lot of people do things like regionally or by location, like they all meet at the library or whatever group they are, or whatever. There's official teams that have Ravelry groups. We do not have a Ravelry presence as a group, like Yarn Adventure does not. So what I've decided to do this year is actually do a Tour de Fleece, and we are going to do. We're going to base it in Instagram and YouTube. So, because I found that was a lot easier for me to keep up with than trying to add another social media platform to my life.
So every day, I do little short videos of Katy spinning all over the country.
Yes. Starting with Gillette, Wyoming. Yes. So we'll be, and then Grand Tetons and all the places in between, and then as well as heading south to Salt Lake, and then getting on a plane and going other places, which we're very excited to talk about later. So we're going to do all kinds of fun stuff. There are going to be some prizes for participation because we know that you guys like prizes. And I will be picking up those prizes at Convergence. I still have free day passes for the marketplace. I have marketplace passes for you. So
if you're going to HCA Convergence and Weaver Field, then tell us.
Yeah.
Say, hey, I would like a day pass, and we will give it to you.
I will give it to you gladly. I will give you the code.
Come visit us.
You can come visit us, and I might even let you pick out your fiber if you're a spinner.
So,
because I'll work with some other lovely people for fiber. Yeah.
And we also, are you good with the?
Oh, so I'm going to be spinning. My main goal is to spin a roving that I bought at Sutton at Home Alpacas, which is 2.83 pounds or 45.3 ounces of alpaca. And I want to do that for a for a sweater for this fall. So I would like to be done with it moving into the fall. So Anita Sherman asks, does the day pass include transportation? Transportation to Wichita from Memphis? No. No, that is.
To Wichita.
Yes.
And if you do that, you let us know. We'll figure out something.
Yes. I'm sorry that we can't arrange that, but yeah, we would love to have you come and hang out with us there. We have lots of great friends, and we're really excited about getting parked inside because we're parking inside. So
speaking of prizes,
yay!
Since Katy, June 21st was the last day of the Yat Spring Mal.
Thanks and teas.
Spring, thank you, teas, make along. The last day was the 21st.
Yes. And the first day of summer.
We had we actually did a random number generator, and we had all the people who had commented or tagged the hashtag posted, and we did a random number generator and picked 2 winners who will get a couple of things mailed to them very soon. And it is Jess from Marvin's Best Friends and Anita Rissler.
Rissler.
We'll be mailing those out sometime in the next few days.
Yeah, we'll contact you separately, so don't worry. All those things. So I'm also working on a project for a friend that will be revealed later this week. You might have saw me working on it in our Instagram post. So that's coming together. I just have a few pieces to sew on. I finished the main body of that. And then next week on Wednesday, we will be at a friend's house in a very different time zone. So
we're already in mountain time.
We will do our very best to show up on time. Would you say that's fair?
Well, I think we can.
Oh.
Why can we on time.
We'll be here. 7 p.m. Central.
It'll be 7 p.m. Central. It will not be 7 p.m. where we are.
It'll be like noon. 2?
No, 2.
2.
It'll be 2.
It'll be 2. So 2 p.m. Okay. I would love to see what you're gonna spend. Set some goals for yourself. Like I'm gonna try for 30 minutes a day. But honestly, you have to, it makes sense to you. I would love to see what you're gonna do, what you think you might want to do. If you need a wheel, I can help you with that. But do it soon.
But really, just during that time, Katy is going to. Jas wants to know what the rules are for the spinning. There's no rules.
Rules.
Just
show up,
spin some, and tell us what you're spinning. Like
the hashtag is hashtag Tour de Yarn Adventure.
I'll just post that as a comment on.
If you're not a spinner, you join in. Just post whatever you want to post about things and be like, I'm not spinning, but I'm touring. And I would love to see that too. Jas, I encourage 30 minutes a day because I feel like that's a really nice starting point for all of us. You can obviously do more or less. The rest days, I will post those as they come, but I believe they are the 11th and 16th or something like that. I will double check on that and post those rest days. So the actual Tour de France, like Tour de Fleece, they encourage you to take rest when the cyclists take their rest days. So you don't have any injuries. But yeah, Jess, no, we don't. We don't rules.
Just
rules.
What? There's no rule. Just spin something. Doesn't matter if it's on an old school spinner, an e-wheel, a drop spindle, anything you want to spin. Spin. Tag us, show us what you're spinning.
I love videos.
Talk about spinning, and then we'll the end of the month or the end of the
probably the end of the FEMS. We will. So the end of the FEMS is actually in August. I think it goes through August 1st. It's a whole week after. So that's probably when we'll do our drawing. So we just basically want to encourage you to immerse yourself in fibercraft.
Yep.
Yes. If you want that pass for day pass for Austin, let us know. Yes. All right. That's it. That's all we got.
Happy crafting.
Happy crafting. We love you all. Goodbye.